Hello everyone. So we are going to take a look at the Nikon D5500 DSLR, which was introduced in 2015. So in 2016, recently Nikon has introduced the latest variant of this DSLR, which is D5600. Pretty much everything is the same, other than few extra features that they have added. You can take a look at the specs on the website. So I'll share the specs of D5500 with you. Let's just start opening this camera. So the main thing that was introduced in D5500 is this fully articulated touch screen. So what I meant by fully articulated touch screen is it is a touch screen wherein I can go to the menu, change the values, go back to the menu, go to the settings, change the ISO values, go back to the main menu. So right now it is not showing the f-stop settings because the lens is not mounted on the camera. As soon as I'll mount the lens on the camera, it'll start showing me the settings for the f count. So this is a fully articulated screen. As you can see, I can tilt it. So this comes very handy when you are shooting in a very so this articulated touch screen comes in very handy when you are shooting from a far away distance at a larger height or in a space where there is very less area to move. So apart from this, the specs. So it is a crop sensor camera. By crop sensor, what I mean is the image on which it is going to focus will be a cropped image in full frame, which is a higher end version of the DSLR. A very wide angle of the portrait picture, a very wide angle of the scenic view is captured onto the film, basically onto the camera. So this is a crop camera, and so its effective megapixels, it is 24.2 megapixels, and the sensor is manufactured by Sony. Approximate focal length is 1.5x, aspect ratio is 3:2, and also the ISO values can go up to so ISO values can go up to 25,000 600, but basically the effective ISO value is 4000. Another question is, can you take movies on this? Yes, you can shoot movies on this camera. Does it have image stabilization? No, it does not have image stabilization. Does it have autofocus? It has autofocus, but it does not automatically autofocus on the moving object. So what does that mean is, when you focus onto an object, as till the time the object is at the same distance from the camera, it'll try to focus on that object. But as soon as the object moves away from the camera or the focus and again tries to come back into the focus, into the focus, you have to again try to focus onto the object. So its effective frames per second is 5 frames per second. Does it have HDMI connection? Yes, it does have HDMI connection. Does it have SD card slot? Yes, it has one single card slot. So I'll just show you where you can put in your SD card. So this is the area. You can open this, put the SD card into this slot and close the lid. This is the battery compartment. So you can open the lid, put the battery inside, close the lid. This is for the tripod mount. You can mount this camera on the tripod, and for steady, less shaky pictures, it has dual stereo microphone. Pretty much everything is covered now. It also has infrared connectivity. So if you have infrared remote, you can mount this camera onto the tripod and take pictures from an infrared remote. Its lens mount is F mount. So if you're buying a lens for the camera, for the Nikon cameras, do check the mount of the lens. So Nikon cameras have F mount. Its zoom ratio is 3.05x. Focal length is 27 to 83 millimeter, which is equivalent to 35 millimeter. Does it have digital zoom? No, it does not have digital zoom. It has 39 autofocus points, from which 9 are the cross type. It has optical viewfinder. Does it have focus peaking? No, it does not have focus peaking. The minimum shutter speed is 30, and the maximum shutter speed is 4,000 of a second. Does it have bulb mode? Yes, it does have bulb mode. And it does have self timer as well. It also has time lapse intervalometer. And what are the types of SD card it supports? It supports SD, SDHC, SDXC. What are the type of images it supports? It supports both NEF and raw images. It supports both. So NEF is basically NEF is basically it's the same as raw. It supports let me correct myself. It supports both raw and JPEG file formats. Also, it has microphone jack. It does not have headphone jack. And the remote control type it supports is MLL3, WR1, WRT10, WRR10, MCDC2. And its battery life is 820 shots. So up to 820 shots the battery will survive. You have to again charge after that. And the operating system compatibility, OS compatibility, is Windows and Mac OS. So you can connect it to the Windows system or a Mac system and download your videos, your photograph over them. So that's for now, and please like this video and share your comments, your thoughts. Thank you.